Welcome once again to your update from the city of New Hope. Let's chat with the mayor, John Elder, to find out what's new in the city and what is coming up. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
I'm fantastic, Dave. How are you?
I am very good. Good to get
Great.
together once again. We've got a great
Yeah.
week of activities in the city to talk about. We've got a council meeting coming up this evening as we're recording this on May 12th. So let's begin there. I understand maybe a record light council meeting, but something very important in it relating to a national week that's this week.
Yeah, we started National Police Week this week, and it was started by President Kennedy, and it is to memorialize the officers who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, who have died in the line of duty. And so we'll go into this week solemnly and have great appreciation for the men and women that help protect and serve our communities.
And I know in some cities they're putting up some blue light bulbs in honor of the police too. So you might be able to go to the hardware store and get one for your home there in the city of New Hope. So longer than the council meeting, maybe the following EDA meeting tonight. Tell us about some of the items there. And I understand bulk of the items related to scattered site.
Absolutely. We have four items on the EDA meeting tonight, and each of them have to do with the scattered site housing. First one has to do with 5410 Wisconsin, and it is going to, assuming the EDA votes on it, approve the contract for Bolig and Sons for the hazardous abatement, disposal of items, tree removal, demolitions of all buildings on site. The second item is also for Bolig and Sons for 6048 Quebec for the same exact services. And the third also is for Bolig and Sons for hazardous material abatement, disposal of items, tree removal, and demolition of the building. And that's going to be for 7205 62nd Avenue North. And we put requests out to a number of contractors who uh, send us bids for what for the services we need.
Mhm.
And state law says that we don't have to take the lowest bidder, but we have to take the lowest responsible bidder. And we've worked with Bullock and Sons a number of times. They are the lowest bidder on each of the three contracts. And so they are an easy selection for us, and we can save the residents money and get to work with a company that's been really good for us to work with. So it's a win-win there for us. The fourth is very simply just approving amendments to the EDA bylaws. There was some wording about the secretary accepting checks, and that's just simply not what we're doing.
Mhm.
So we're tightening up that verbiage,
Okay.
and we're excited to be able to get that really reflecting adequately what we do.
Very
So,
good. All right. So there's your preview of the meetings coming up this evening if you're watching on the Monday, May 12th. Now to some other things happening around the city. Let's begin in community development and talk about the Planning Commission. They did meet early in May. Give us a little recap of what they had on their agenda.
yep, on May 6th, they met to discuss and review the conditional use permit that was brought forward, we talked about last week by Gethsemane Cemetery by expanding their storage building on the southeast corner of their property. It was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission.
Mhm.
So we will go over their notes and their vote and look to see if council members have any issues or challenges with it, and we will be voting on that on the May 27th council meeting. Additionally, we have gotten a fair number of complaints about vehicles that are parked at residences that are really commercial vehicles. and vehicles that are being stored in residential area. They were able to get through a chunk of that. However, they're going to need a lot more time to discuss it
Okay.
because every decision that is made can have a lot of unintended consequences.
Sure.
So the council went over it at a work session, decided we wanted the planning commission to review it, and really my wording to them is leave no stone unturned because I
Mhm.
want as few unintended consequences as possible for moving forward with this. We don't want to, if you look at it, um, a vehicle that's used for work can't be parked at a residence. That would mean that people with take-home cars wouldn't be able to park them outside of their residence. So there's a lot of things that we really have to look at before we start making any hard and fast rules. And we appreciate the Planning Commission's
Mhm.
due diligence, and they will be discussing this further at a future meeting.
Very good. And we'll keep you up to date as that moves through the process. Other things in community development, we've got a number that we keep track of. That's the single family conversions to rental. How is that number looking here as we're in the middle of May?
Well, the conversion from privately owned to rental is lower than it has been in previous years. So far this year, we have had seven properties that were converted from owner occupied to rental, and two properties that were converted from rental back to owner occupied. So, certainly not against rental properties at all, but we just want to make sure that all of the ordinances, that they're being kept up well, that they're good neighbors, and all of that. So that's one of the things that I like to keep on my radar because it's important. I don't want any property, whether it's rental or owner occupied, to lower the quality of life for the neighbors. So that's something that community development and I have a strong eye on.
Here's another item that shows how far in advance community development plans. They're planning already in September, something to do with golf and something, Mayor, you're very familiar with. What's this tournament coming up at the beautiful New Hope course?
Absolutely. On the 28th, strike that, in September 19th at noon, the 28th annual New Hope Golf Outing and Barbecue will be for the Minneapolis Regional Chamber Golf. And last year, they helped raise funds for PRISM, the New Hope Safety Camp, New Hope YMCA, and the New Hope Crime Prevention Fund, as well as the Seven Dreams Foundation. It's an incredible event. It's a lot of fun. I go every single year, and I actually get to drive the beverage cart.
Mhm.
So, golfing with me is a hazardous thing. So I think they figured it's better to just keep the sticks out of my hand.
That's right.
So
They give you a job and have you just drive around and greet people. Sounds good to me.
absolutely. Yep, it's an
So,
honor to be a part of it. And it's always a well-attended and great run event. So I'm excited for it. It's already on my calendar.
and it looks like they also need volunteers. So you can contact the city. Jeff Alger is the person to call 763-531-5119 if you want to find out more about volunteering and helping out. Scattered site housing, you mentioned it earlier in EDA. Let's just touch on a couple other properties that are seeing some things happening. Over on Nevada Avenue, it's building permit time.
Yep, the building permits for both new houses at both 4220 and 4222 Nevada have been approved, and the lots have been staked out, and the excavation work is expected to begin this week. So there's going to be some dirt and dust in the air,
Mhm.
but we're really, really looking forward to seeing the beautiful homes that EHR, Exceptional Home Remodelers, will be, and yeah, will be putting up. They're going to be listed on the MLS for $579,000 a piece. So that's a big jump from what was there. We're getting two houses for the price of one, and so that will be a big boost to the tax rolls.
Speaking of beautiful homes, here's a picture of a home that is now up and has been sold again as part of Scattered Site. Give us some of those details behind this sale.
You bet. The residence at 8024 50th Avenue North has closed. The builder was Great Buy Homes, a beautiful home. Residents took place on May 2nd. They moved in. The sale was for $550,000, $555,500, which was higher than the projected sales price at 535. And that was presented to the EDA back some time ago when it was acquired in July of 24. The home we took over at that point, the home we bought at that point, had the assessed value of $280,000.
Mhm.
So this is almost twice the taxes for this property. So if you have photos here, the sod and trees will be installed in the coming weeks, but it's a gorgeous home, and we're very, very happy to be able to have this home in our stock. The home that was there was old and dilapidated, so
Mhm.
we're very, very happy to have that.
One other item from community development. They are the ones behind the business networking group with New Hope and Crystal, and they want you to save a date coming up on June 4th. Give us some details of that next event.
Yep, June 4th at 8:30 a.m. There is the business networking group meeting, and that's businesses from New Hope and Crystal. And these are businesses that get together and work together to help each other's businesses flourish. They are going to be doing an update on the Blue Line extension. And that's going to impact all of our cities, whether that comes through our town or not. It actually doesn't touch New Hope, but very
Mhm.
close, and it will impact our city. And that meeting is being hosted by the Metro Transit, and that's going to be at the Crystal City Hall.
Very good. Now to police, one quick update here. The number of incidents over the last week. Weather is getting nicer, and that looks
Yeah.
like it's being reflected in the number of incidents.
Absolutely. New Hope had 535 police-related incidents. And that can be, when we say police-related incidents, that can be anything from a traffic stop. That can be a car broken down on the side of the road that officers stop to help. It
Mhm.
can be domestics. It can be thefts. It can be any number of things. But anything that they're involved in, they pull a case number on, and that's how we quantify these numbers. That's up a little bit from previous years, but not by much. And our officers are working hard to make their calls and stay proactive in the community. Again, community development is a community engagement, excuse me, is a
Mhm.
huge
Mhm.
thing, a real cornerstone for Chief Hoyt's administration and of the department. And you see those officers out in the community with great regularity. Very proud of our department.
They are very involved, as are the folks in Public Works, and are getting ready for infrastructure. It's time to look at some of the roads and things around the city. Tell us about the 2025 project that's coming up and what areas might be touched in the city.
Yep, this is going to be north of Northwood Parkway, south of 40th, and east of Boone and west of Winnetka. And the interesting thing about this project is there are no total reconstructions.
Hmm.
Reconstructions where you literally go down and dig down 20 feet and get to all the pipes and everything down below. Um, there isn't a need to do that in this area. So, working off of our 10-year pavement management plan, these roads are up for what's called a reclamation, reclaim, or a mill and an overlay. And with reclamation, they come through and take the top 3 inches of pavement off and then come through with brand new asphalt, and they do curb and gutter replacement as needed, and they're just replacing the top section. A mill and overlay is where they grind off the first 2 to 3 inches of asphalt and then grind that up and then reuse that product to fill up the space that they've ground and also do curb and gutter replacement as needed.
Okay.
It's nice to know kind of a schedule for it. The streets that are part of the reclaim and overlay, they will be in late June to early July. And
Mhm.
the streets that are the mill and overlay will likely start early August, dependent on weather.
Okay.
So the city has a site where on our website, and it's you can track when it's going to be, what they're going to be doing, and how it's coming along. So if you live in that area, make sure you're familiar with that site.
There you see that site at the bottom of the screen, newhopemn.gov/2025 construction. Check that out to stay on top of what's going on. Well, if you've driven down 169 lately, you see some fancy apparatus around the water tower, and that means the painting is happening. Although I guess weather plays a little bit of role in this, so they've had to watch the weather a little bit. What is the update on the tower?
Yeah, they have had to alter some of their work because of the wind gusts of up to 30 miles an hour, and you can't be on top of a water tower with the winds gusting like that. So they've transitioned from doing exterior work to interior work, and they continue to sandblast and remove the old paint, which I believe you have some photos of.
Mhm.
And they're going to start working on the outside of it as well in attempts to stay active and keep within their 13-week window. They ended up working Saturday and Sunday for the last 2 weekends.
Mhm.
So they're working hard to get this done. We are not receiving complaints about water pressure. And so that really is hats off to our Joint Water Commission and our Public Works team that work so hard with the other two cities of Crystal and Golden Valley, who we share the Joint Water Commission with, and making sure that all the valves are right and all the flows are right, so that even though we shut down this south water tower, which is one of the main water towers in this entire system,
Mhm.
we're not seeing decreased performance in the water. So that's super important to the residents. That water tower is responsible for my home, so we haven't noticed any issues
That's
or
good.
challenges with that.
Very good. One other item to cover in public works, and it is expensive to do some work under the ground, and sanitary sewer lines are about everywhere. And so the city works hard to secure some extra funding. Tell us how this works and what has been done.
Across all of the departments in New Hope, but especially within our public works, we apply for grants, and we're usually successful in doing this. And so we have made a request for grant money for the FY 26 Community Project Funding Grant, and that is going to be to line our sanitary sewers.
Mhm.
We do a few miles every single year, but we're hoping we can do even more. What we do is we line our clay pipes with a fiberglass that cures in place and holds the pipes integrity together,
Mhm.
and it stops inflow and infiltration. Some of these pipes have been in the ground since 1966.
Right.
They're extremely expensive to replace, and so lining them will help extend the life of these by likely 50 plus years. So as these pipes crack and roots grow into them, we do have a problem with inflow and infiltration. This is water that is comes in from rain, from sprinkler systems, from pools, where the water gets into the sanitary system, and then that water flows to a treatment plant.
Mhm.
Now they know how much water we've used. The Met Council knows how much water we're using, and they know how much water we're treating. And if there's a discrepancy in those numbers and it's large enough, we can get hit with substantial fines. and we had a several $100,000 fine many years ago, and we have been working to lower the I&I issues that we're having. And we can use that fine money to make our improvements. So that's a decent way for us to pay it and not give up that money somewhere else.
Mhm.
So we're making great headway, and Bernie Weber, our director of Public Works, and our water specialist Nick Macklem are doing a remarkable job keeping up with this and making sure we're doing the best we can.
Very good. Couple final notes from Park and Rec that we want to pass along. The first related to the bike rodeo. Great plans were in place, but the weather said not so fast. But you turned it into a very positive thing, which some pictures in just a second will show.
Yeah, the bike rodeo was canceled this year due to weather. I mean, you can plan everything out
Yeah.
to the very last detail, and then Mother Nature says, "Nah, not today."
Hmm.
So we had to close down or cancel the event, and they still wanted to give the participants the opportunity to win one of the 20 bicycles that they had. And they did a Google survey, and pictures and descriptions for the bikes were uploaded, and the winners were selected randomly last Friday. There were over 250 submissions, and each of the bikes have been picked up by the winners. I wish we could have given away 250 bikes,
You
but that
bet.
just wasn't there. So it's something about a child holding their new bike is something awfully special. So
You bet.
I was very sad to see we had to cancel it, but we have to worry about safety first.
Yep. All right. Some great pictures there. Final note to pass along. The countdown is on at the city for a certain thing opening up, Mayor. What is the count and what's going to be opening up soon?
We are under 20 days away
All right.
from the aquatic park opening up, and the staff has been working hard. They've been working cleaning the 50-meter pool, and they're going to start filling that this week. And they're continuing to prep the bathhouse and concession areas, cleaning off the rec pool area, caulking all the plaster repairs, turf maintenance. They're super busy, and they're gonna have this park looking outstanding by the time that it opens, and we're excited for that. We were able to extend its time that it was open by a week this year. I'd like to see it extended by 3 weeks, but we really run into the challenge where we can't get lifeguards. A lot of our
Mhm.
lifeguards are college students, and by the end of the summer, they're heading back to school. So we
Mhm.
were able to extend it 1 week this year, and we'll see what we can do in the coming years to get that extended. I get a lot of questions and a lot of calls and feedback on that.
I
So
can imagine
uh,
you do.
you bet.
And here's the city's website once again, newhopemn.gov. If you want to find out more about lessons at that pool or maybe some season passes, you can certainly go there. And also many of the items we touched on, more information there. Mayor Elder, thanks again for your time. Great to talk to you this week, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Dave, thank you so much. Have a great week.
You as well. And here's a look at some other things coming up in the city. For more city stories, check out ccxmedia.org or find us on social media.